Full Irish pension logic has been built into CashCalc in order for users to quickly set up existing ARFs and vested PRSAs or schedule a drawdown strategy in the future that will automatically add all the necessary lump sums and imputed distributions minus any tax. So how does this work? Well, if we navigate ourselves into CashCalc, I've got a couple of clients here, Sherlock and Edith. Clicked on Cashflow, select input some timeline. And under the pensions options, you've got the ability to add two different types of pensions, a state pension or a defined contribution. A state pension is quite simple. There's only a few tabs. You simply select the owner of that state pension. In this case, it would be Sherlock. Starting value, it will automatically default to the maximum. Clearly, I can adjust that. And then it'll automatically set the correct start and end date dependent on that client's age. And again, if you flip between the different clients, it will take that into consideration. I can add both of those in there. For DC pension, if I click on the little red tab at the top, we can call the pension something, in this case, Irish Life Pension. Who owns that pension? It's going to be Sherlock in this case. We're going to say it's a €700,000 pension. You've now got two options. Is this an existing ARF or vested PRSA? Has the lump sum therefore already been taken and they're already in drawdown? If so, we can select that tab and you can add in any relevant imputed distributions thereafter. Or are you planning on, or is this client planning on a drawdown strategy later on? You can schedule that here. So it will ask you when that drawdown is likely to take place. In this case, it's going to be 65 in a few years when the client retires. But again, you can have that set at any age you like. What's the desired lump sum that client's going to be taking? It defaults to 25%, but again, that can be adjusted to a euro amount as well. What's the withdrawal type? We're going to select minimum imputed distributions withdrawal, so it's automatically going to apply and add the relevant 4, 5, 6%, etc. in the background under the withdrawals tab, which we'll get onto in a minute. Or you can desire a specific amount. So you can say that the client's looking to take maybe 6% or maybe 8% every year. In this case, we'll just do minimum, and then we can also tell the system that this pot's going to grow at 4% a year every year until the end of forecast or until the pot expires. If we save that, I won't bother saving this one because I've already got one saved in the background. There it is, the Irish Life Pension, owned by Sherlock, €700,000, growing at that 4%. Now you'll notice under the withdrawal tab, as if by magic, I've got 3 withdrawals automatically applied because I had that schedule created at the same time. So it's automatically added the relevant tax-free lump sum coming in at Sherlock's retirement age, the imputed distribution at 4% of the relevant ages, and equally the imputed distribution at 5% again at the relevant start and end dates. If the client was already in drawdown, already had an ARF or vested PRSA, then under the quick add tab up here, you can add your own imputed distributions. And you'll notice that if you select any one of them, again, pretty much every single field is filled out for you, including the relevant start and end dates. And equally, you can add your own tax-free lump sum up here under quick add as well. Now, if we go to our cash flow model on the left-hand side, you can see it's changed a little bit. There's my client's pension every single year. Suddenly the pension gets a little smaller. On year 4, that's because the lump sum is taken. So the lump sum is taken and placed into the current account to spend first. If you go to money in, money out, again, that makes it look a little clearer. You've got the lump sum coming in there. You've also got the imputed distribution at 4% coming in as an income, and you've also got the imputed distribution at 5% as well, coming in later in life. And again, as always, you've got the taxes tab as well that will show all the relevant taxes this client is paying in each year. For a little more clarity, if you click on the yearly breakdown tab on the left-hand side, a year-on-year breakdown. If we click on this one, you see it's got a little insight tab has been triggered. It means something out of the ordinary has happened that year. So there are actually 2 insights. If I click on the insights tab, the one we're interested in is the pension crystallization. There's been a crystallization event that year, which we know of because we set this up. So we click on the money in tab. You'll see on the right-hand side, the lump sum's been recorded over here. Gross amount €182,000 and the imputed distribution at 4%. 29,000 has been taken gross. The net amount, though, is 15,000 because the income tax paid was €11,000. USC paid €2,000, and then it gives you the full income tax breakdown of how we got to €11,652. If I go slightly later on in the time, in the timeline, you've got the imputed distribution of 5% coming in there as well. Incidentally, if I come back to the most recent one, if you click on the liquid assets tab, this shows all of the money in, money out, the contributions and withdrawals of every single pot my client owns. So if we go down to our Irish Life Pension here, it also then specifies the tax-free lump sum coming out, €182,000, and the imputed distribution at that year. of 4% and clearly 5% later on in the timeline. Now, what happens if the client's lump sum is slightly bigger and larger than this one, over that 200,000 allowance? Well, again, CashCalc will account for that. So let's just be a little generous and give Sherlock a little bit more money. So if we go back down to the pension tab, edit Sherlock, give him 900,000 instead, and then update that pension. If we go back down to our cash flow model on the left-hand side, straight away the taxes have changed. You can see the lump sum excess tax is now having to be paid by Sherlock because that lump sum is above that tax-free lump sum allowance of 200,000, and it will be clearly listed on the breakdown tab as well. Under breakdown, you'll see under money in, tax-free lump sum has got a little bit more detailed now, whereas before I think it was 2 lines. Now there's quite a few lines because it's explaining that there is a lump sum excess tax paid, 6,818, and again, always the full calculation of how that's been calculated. Equally, if there's any shortfall in imputed distributions, the system will account for that as well. That will happen possibly quite regularly if you set up an ARF on CashCalc and then the expenses are too low and therefore it's not needing to draw as much from that pension. Clearly, it will take as much as it needs to cover any expense shortfall. So if that shortfall is too low, the imputed distribution might be well under the 4 or 5% allowance. If that's the case, let's, just for the purpose of this cash flow and demonstration, let's force the system to recognize that on here. So we're going to edit this Irish Life pension again. We're going to desire an amount of percentage, and we're going to force it to recognize a 2% imputed distribution every year, well under that minimum allowance. Once that's been done, if I come back down to my yearly breakdown tab, actually, if I come back to my cash flow tab first, if you click on the taxes tab, you'll see the shortfall tax is illustrated. So you've got the pension shortfall tax, any USC and PRSI as well. And under the yearly breakdown tab, if we click on the most recent, if we click on liquid assets, again, look at the contributions and withdrawals from the pots, Irish Life pension, you've got the tax-free lump sum, you've got the flexible withdrawal that is coming out, which will be the 2%, but then equally some extra detail. So, well, because it's a shortfall, therefore you're paying a little extra for that shortfall on income tax, USC and PRSI. So that's the amount that's been taken from the pension to cover that shortfall tax. So as you can see, we've added a lot of logic in CashCalc to account for Irish pensions. So I hope you found that useful. Any questions, feel free to reach out to our help desk.